Welcome to SST Online Video Children. My name is Aarti, and in this video series, we are going to see a new chapter. The chapter name is Chapter 5, Saudi Arabia. It is a country which lies in a very hot desert region. Okay, so we are going to see the climatic condition of this country, the location, the vegetation, the animals of that country, the people, their culture, and then the different industries and important cities of that country. Come, let us see the PPT and learn about the topics. First, let us see the topics that we are going to cover in this chapter. We are going to see the definition of desert, then the location of hot desert across the world, the location of Saudi Arabia, the relief features of that country, climate of that country, vegetation of that country, oasis, animals, people, Bedouins, dress code of that people, and then the industries and the important cities. So these are the different topics that we will be covering in this particular chapter. First, let us start with the definition of desert. When I say desert, you will remember certain things, right? What do you remember? The very first thing that comes to your mind is the sandy area. As you see in the picture background, what you can imagine, the very first thing, very sandy area. Deserts are nothing but one of the physical feature of the earth. Just like we have mountains, we have plateaus, we have coastal plains, normal plains, deserts are also one of the important physical feature of the earth. Now, there is a small technique to remember the features or the characters of desert. First, what we have to do, the letters in the word desert will help you to remember the nature of the desert. Just see, take all the letters from the word desert and we will match that letter with the word which describes the desert. First, for the letter D, dry. Yes, the deserts are always dry, you know, right? Because they don't get enough amount of rainfall. The next letter is E. E stands for empty. Empty means no one is there or nothing is there. Yes, of course, deserts will not have more number of people living and it will also not have more vegetation or more animals living. Yes, of course, there will be few animals and plants, but it will not be very large. So we can say that they are almost empty. The next letter is S, which stands for sandy. Yes, it is sandy, very much sandy. And E stands for extreme climate. Yes, this you know from the 4th grade itself, right? What is the climate of desert? They have extreme climate. During the daytime, it will be very hot, and during the nighttime, it will be very cold. And hence, we call the desert as an area which has extreme climate. So the letter E stands for extreme climate here. R stands for reptiles. Reptiles are what? Reptiles are a kind of animals. You know, right? In EVS, you might have learned. Okay, these are the animals which crawl on the floor or on the wall, which have thick and scaly skin and crawl with the 4 legs. Those kind of animals we call as reptiles, and you can see a variety of reptiles in desert region. And T stands for treeless. Yes, of course, deserts will not have more amount of trees. Few areas will have trees, but not very tall. They will be very short and small trees. So this is a technique how you can remember the nature of the desert. Actually, there are 2 types of deserts, namely cold desert and hot desert. So we have 2 types of desert. One is cold desert, another one is hot desert. In this chapter, we are going to see about hot desert, okay? Now let us see the location of hot desert. So our earth has got many hot deserts, not just 1 or 2, they have got many hot deserts. We are going to see where they are located, okay? So you know what it is, what is shown on the screen. It is nothing but a world map and you can see all the continents. Now, all these yellow shaded area in the map are nothing but the location of hot desert. Okay, let us start from number 1 here. Okay, you know what continent it is? It is North America. And we have one hot desert here, which is called as Great Basin Desert. And we have 3 deserts in South America, number 2, 3, and 4, which are nothing but Peruvian desert, Atacama Desert, and Patagonian Desert. These three are important deserts in South America. And if you come to this one, Asia, you have number 6. Number 6 is nothing but Arabian Desert. Okay, our Saudi Arabia is situated in this Arabian Desert only. And then number 7, we have Turkestan Desert. And number 8, this one. This one is nothing but our own desert in India, which is nothing but the Thar Desert or the Indian Desert or the Western Desert, we say. So we have that desert here, which is marked as number 8. And number 9 is Gobi Desert, which is in part of Mongolia and China. And then number 10, here. Number 10 is Kalahari and Namib Desert, which is there in Africa. And then in Africa, we have one more desert, which is number 5. That is nothing but the Sahara Desert. You know about Sahara Desert, right? It is the world's biggest desert and also the hottest desert. Okay, so these are some of the important hot desert in the world. Now let us see where they are exactly located. Can you think of something, the location? Just look at the desert places. Can you relate them to the latitudes here? Just look, 3 latitudes are mentioned here. Tropic of Cancer is here, Equator is here, and Tropic of Capricorn is here. Now, if you see where the hot deserts are located, you can clearly see they are located close to this Tropic of Cancer and also close to this Tropic of Capricorn. See, just see this line, you can see surrounding this area, you have 3 deserts here, you have 1 desert here, and Australian desert. If you take Tropic of Capricorn, Cancer, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 6 deserts lying near the Tropic of Cancer. So this is one important point. Most of the hot desert across the world, they are situated or located near the tropics. Tropics are nothing but Tropic of Cancer or Tropic of Capricorn here. Okay. And next, the second point is, now if you look at the location of these deserts, you can very clearly see they're located on the western side of any continent. So this is north, this is south, this is east, and this is west. Okay. Now take this first desert, Great Basin Desert in North America. In which direction, which part of the continent it is located? It is on the western side. Now look at this number 2, 3, and 2 and 3. They are also on the western side. Now look at number 10. It is on western side. Now if you take this Asian continent also, this is the western part of Asian continent. And you can very clearly see they have number 6, 7, and 8 on the western side of the continent. So this is also one important point which you have to note. Okay, hot desert are mostly located on the western part of the continent. Now let us see about this African continent and the desert there. Number 5. Number 5 is the Sahara Desert, right? It is the world's largest and hottest desert. And you can see this African continent is almost filled with this Sahara Desert by 1/3. That is, if you divide Africa into 3 parts, 1 part is completely filled with the Sahara Desert. And you can also see this Tropic of Cancer is just passing through this Sahara Desert. And on either side of this Tropic of Cancer, Sahara Desert is present. That is on top as well as at the bottom. You can see this Sahara Desert located in African continent. Okay, so this is about the location of hot desert. Now let us look at the points. Same point, whatever I told you with the help of the map, that is repeated here. The hot deserts are mostly located near the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. They are located on the western part of the continent. Sahara is the world's hottest as well as the biggest desert. Sahara Desert lies in African continent. And then we saw that it almost covers 1/3 part of that continent. And also the Tropic of Cancer passes through Africa, and on either side of this, Sahara is present. Okay, so these are the points on the hot desert. Now let us move on to Saudi Arabia. Now what is this? This is the political map of Asia, you all know. Identify where India is. Yes, correct. Here is our country, India. And where is India and which continent? We are in Asian continent. The same way, Saudi Arabia is also in Asian continent. Can you find out where Saudi Arabia is? Just look carefully. It is on the west side. Correct. This is Saudi Arabia. Here we have Saudi Arabia. And there is one similarity between Saudi Arabia and India. Do you know already? Okay, let me give you a clue. They both are peninsular. They are situated in a peninsular area. India is called a peninsular country because it is surrounded by water on three sides. Now look at the Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is located in a place which is a peninsular area. Saudi Arabia itself is not a peninsular country because it is surrounded by land on two sides. Okay, but this area, we call it as Arabian Peninsula. See, I'm just bordering this area. This area is called as Arabian Peninsula. And we have few countries like Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and Oman situated in that Arabian Peninsula. Okay. And now let us see the points on this. India is in continent Asia. Yes, we know that. Asia has got two hot deserts, namely the Thar Desert, Western Desert or the Great Indian Desert, and the Arabian Desert. Of course, there are few more deserts which we saw in the map, but these are the two more important or more commonly known desert. Next is Saudi Arabia is a country which lies in the desert region. Yes, and this country lies in Arabian Peninsula. I showed you in the map, right? This country is situated in a peninsular area, which is called as Arabian Peninsula. Many countries lie in this peninsula other than Saudi Arabia. Yes, on the bottom, we saw two countries, right? Yemen and Oman. So they are also situated in this peninsular area. Now let us see the borders and the neighboring countries of Saudi Arabia. Now, this is Saudi Arabia. This yellow color region is the Saudi Arabian country. Let us see what is there surrounding this Saudi Arabia. Let us start from the north. First, let us mark the direction. This is north, this is south, this is east, and this is west. Now, by looking at the map, can you tell me what countries are there on the north side? Let us start from here. What do we have here? This is Jordan, and then we have Iraq here, and then we have Kuwait here. So these are the three important countries on the north direction: Jordan, Iraq, and Kuwait. Let us come to the south. On the south of Saudi Arabia, what we have? We have this country, Yemen and Oman. So they have two neighboring countries in the south, Yemen, Oman, and also the sea, Arabian Sea. So three things are there in the south, Yemen, Oman, and Arabian Sea. Now let us move on to the east direction. What is there on the east? On the east, we have UAE, United Arab Emirates. UAE is the short form of United Arab Emirates. So we have a country there, and then we have two small countries, Qatar and Bahrain. Also, we have a water body, which is nothing but Persian Gulf. So on the east, we have United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, and Persian Gulf. So four things are there on the east side. Now on the west, what water body we have? Just look at your map carefully. Try to read. What is this? Red Sea, correct. So on the west, what do we have? On the west side, we have the Red Sea. So these are the borders and the neighboring countries of Saudi Arabia. Let us quickly recall. On the north direction, we have Jordan, we have Iraq and Kuwait. And on the south, we have Yemen, Oman, and Arabian Sea. On the east, we have UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and Persian Gulf. And on the west side, we have Red Sea. Same points are repeated here. Saudi Arabia is located in the northern hemisphere. Yes, why do we say northern hemisphere? Which part we call as northern hemisphere? The part of the earth above the equator. We call it as northern hemisphere. And Saudi Arabia is just above the equator. So we call that as northern hemisphere. And Riyadh is its capital. I forgot to show you in the map. I will show you later. Okay. So Riyadh is its capital. Saudi Arabia is part of Asia. Yes, just like India, it also lies in Asia, and it is also called as Middle East Asia. Okay, Saudi Arabia is located in Middle East Asia, we say. We also call it as Middle East country also, sometimes we call. Those group of countries like Yemen, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, they all called as Middle East Asian countries. Okay. Now, Kuwait, Iraq, and Jordan, they lie in the north, what we saw in the map. And then in olden days, Iraq was known as Mesopotamia. This is another name for Iraq. Earlier, in ancient days, it was also called as Mesopotamia. And Mesopotamia is one of the oldest civilization of the world. Civilization means where people settled long back and where they had their own way of living, where they started having their different lifestyles and everything. They settled in one place and they started having their culture starting. Okay, that we call as civilization. So this Mesopotamia is one of the oldest civilization of the world. Arabian Sea, Oman, and Yemen in the south. Okay, these are at the bottom of that country. Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, and Persian Gulf. They are present on the east direction, this side. And the last one on the west, we saw the Red Sea. So these are the points on the neighboring countries as well as the borders of Saudi Arabia. Okay, children, in this first video, we saw the definition of desert, the location of hot desert, and the location of Saudi Arabia and its neighboring countries and borders. In our next video, let us learn about the relief feature of that country, vegetation, as well as climate of that country. Thank you for watching the video.